Welcome to the International Volleyball Academy, where step by step we make you better volleyball players. In today's 12th episode, we'll return to the spiking, which is the most challenging activity in volleyball in terms of technique, and teach you how to time your spike correctly and send a difficult ball to your opponent. But first, we'll quickly review what we've already learned in episodes 5 and 6.
We have learned that the player must pass through the archer's position when spiking, as we see with the Czech representative. Children, especially girls, sometimes have problems with the correct movement of the striking arm. For this reason, we have paid special attention to this topic. It was especially related to volleyball beginners. Do you remember? Mechanical exercises with a kneeling archer. Then we spent some time on proper throwing, first in the kneeling position with the left side to the net in different variations.
Then we worked on the spiker's run, specifically the last 2 steps before the jump-off. For a right-handed man, it's the second to last step with the right foot. It's long and ends over the heel. The final step with the left ends with a step over the curled toe diagonally to the right foot, turning the body with the left side toward the net. For left-handers, of course, everything is mirrored. The penultimate step involves a powerful arm twitch. It should be added that everything we are talking about will apply to both spikers and blockers. We then threw standing up at the net, checking the correct body position in relation to the net and the correct bounce of the legs before jumping to the spike.
This 7-year-old has already combined a run, a jump, and a throw. We often work against the wall to get balls back quickly. At the net, we then check the non-striking arm work by practicing passing the overball from left to right in front of his body. Now we're going to focus on ball control while spiking.
We start by hitting a holded ball while standing on the ground, and then add exercises where the ball is thrown to the player, or the player throws the ball himself. Because of the speed of the arm movement, it is a good idea to incorporate hitting the striking ball while kneeling.
Then come the drills, where the player must first find the optimal position for the strike, with the left foot in front in the direction of the strike. The wall is a great help. It never lies. After the player first processes the ball above him and then kicks it standing from the ground against the wall, the next exercise is when the ball bounces off the wall and is processed by a teammate directly in the form of a set.
An interesting addition is when we use a similar exercise for setters who have to set for themselves. Setters must also be able to attack.
And here comes the topic of the direction of the spike. One of the typical spikes in volleyball is the so-called crossbody, where the arm is folded across the chest. First, we do this again in the form of an overball throw. Then we try it with the children on the ground, first hitting the hold ball, then the tossed ball. The adult player will use the spike without the jump shot, mostly just for warm-up, but with the children, it is necessary to start with the ball control on the ground while standing.
We already know that little boys in particular enjoy games the most. That is why we need to get to the games very early, when we use the mastered attacking spike standing on the ground. Moreover, such games teach the boys to find the right position and body position for a spike. Without this, they will be unsuccessful, and boys do not like to lose.
All the previous exercises lead us to the real spiking in the jump over the net, first into a dead ball held in the coach's hands. This is an artificial situation because the player is not forced to use timing, but it is an important point in the learning process. We can also simulate an attack against a one block.
And now we come to the first crucial point, the attack after the ball is thrown, where timing comes into play. As you can see, it's not without its difficulties, and once again our favorite wall. As the tennis players say, you can't do without it. This time, ball control is combined with a jump.
And there's the spike after the set, which is already a synergy between the setter and the spiker. We'll get to that in the next episodes. Now we're interested in timing. These 13-year-olds have got it down pretty well, but believe me, it causes a lot of problems for beginners.
What's the problem? It is that the final double step has to occur when the trajectory of the recording is approximately known, after the moment of setting the setter, and children usually start the run earlier out of impatience or stress. This deprives them of the opportunity to react to the trajectory of the set. This is countered by exercises where the direction of the set is not known in advance and the player is forced to delay the start of the run-up.
And here, you can see that even relatively advanced young players have a problem with this and correct the run only during the run, which takes away the dynamics and calmness at the end of the run, when the player will choose the solution under time pressure. But the future national team players fight it bravely.
And there are games again, namely the popular wall games. You can see the pitch defined by colored rubber markers on the ground. For example, there is a game of pairs for 2 ground strokes without jumping. Ah, that's a good ball. A line. Of course, then on 3 touches. And if there are setters in the game, again we can impose on them that setting AS only possible for themselves. There are dozens of similar games that can be devised, and they test the player's abilities very rigorously. And we already know how to dunk in the jump shot, so we'll include that in the setting games. That requires the players to really master the offensive spike.
And then logically we have to take the pitch. That's the real thing. There's no fooling her. This game and others like it reveal how consistent we've been in our previous drills. Success on offense is largely determined by physical fitness and mental attributes, but poor technique can limit a player greatly.
It's hard to make good decisions in an attack if you lack the necessary skills, but these skills are not lacking in the Czech national team, who are currently fighting against the Finns in the Europa League. This is where we want to arrive, although not everything is perfect here either. The road to volleyball perfection starts in our International Volleyball Academy. And the recap. Spiking a held ball from a standing position. Incorporating strikes on a falling ball while kneeling to improve movement speed. Drills where a player first controls the ball above themselves and then spikes from a standing position against the wall. Drills where a teammate sets the ball directly from a rebound off the wall. Throw from the body, arms fold across the chest. Ground strikes primarily only during warm-up. Attacking a held ball. Attacking a tossed ball. Attacking from a 1-meter set. We strive to create time pressure. Ending with games again, first against the wall, and finally games on a normal court.
And what's next? Now that we know how to spike, we need to respond with a good block. That will be our next topic. We will teach you how to firm up your body during a block, how to correctly position your arms against a flying ball, all initially with an overball. But as you know from previous episodes, the goal is to establish a good movement pattern, in this case the blocking pattern